Happy Halloween, everyone! So we're going to continue with the Count of Monte Cristo, chapter 53, The Accusation. Monsieur d'Avrigny soon brought the magistrate round, though he still looked like another corpse in his chamber of death. "Death is in my house," he exclaimed. "Say rather crime," replied the doctor, "for the time has now come when we must act. We must put an end to these incessant deaths. So far as I am concerned, I feel I can no longer consciously hold such secrets unless I have the hope of soon seeing the victims, and through them society, avenged." Villefort cast a melancholy look around him. "Do you then suspect anyone?" "I do not suspect anyone. Death knocks at your door. It enters and goes not blindly, but with circumspection, from room to room. Well, I follow its track. I know its passage, and adopt the wisdom of the ancients. I grope about in the dark, for my respect for you and my friendship for your family are like two bandages before my eyes." "Speak. Doctor, speak. I have courage." "Well, then, you have in your house, perhaps in the midst of your family, one of those terrible phenomena every century produces." Villefort wrung his hands and cast a pleading look on the doctor, but the latter continued pitilessly. "An axiom of jurisprudence says, 'Seek whom the crime would profit.'" "Alas, doctor, how many times has not justice been deceived by those fatal words?" exclaimed Villefort. "I know not why, but I think this crime—" "You admit, at least, that it is a crime?" "Yes, I acknowledge it. What else can I do? But let me continue. It seems to me this crime is directed against me alone and not against the victims. I sense some calamity for myself at the root of all these strange disasters." "Oh, man," muttered d'Avrigny, "the most selfish of all creatures, who believes that the earth turns, the sun shines, and the scythe of death reaps for him alone. And have those who have lost their lives lost nothing? Monsieur de Saint-Méran, Madame de Saint-Méran, Monsieur Notier." "Monsieur Notier?" "Certainly. Do you think it was the unfortunate servant's life they wanted? No, like Shakespeare's Polonius, he died for another. Notier was intended to drink the lemonade. The other one only drank it by accident. How is it my father did not succumb? As I told you one evening in the garden after the death of Madame de Saint-Méran, his system has become accustomed to this very poison. No one, not even the murderer himself, knows that for the past year I have been treating Monsieur Notier with brucine for his paralysis, whereas the murderer knows, and has proved by experience, that brucine is a virulent poison." "Stop! For heaven's sake, have pity on me," cried Villefort, wringing his hands. "Let us follow the criminal's course. He kills Monsieur de Saint-Méran, then Madame de Saint-Méran, a double inheritance to look forward to." Villefort wiped away the perspiration that was streaming down his forehead. "Listen. Monsieur Notier willed his fortune away from you and your family," continued Monsieur d'Avrigny pitilessly, "so he is spared. But he has no sooner destroyed his first will and made a second one than he becomes the victim, no doubt lest he should make a third will. This will was made the day before yesterday, I believe. You see, there was no time lost. Have mercy, doctor." "No mercy, monsieur. A doctor has a sacred mission on earth, and to fulfill it he has to start at the source of life and descend to the mysterious darkness of the tomb. When a crime has been committed, and God, doubtless horrified, turned away his head, it is for the doctor to say, 'Here is the culprit.'" "Have mercy on my daughter," murmured Villefort. "You see, it is you yourself who have named her, you, her father. Have mercy on Valentine. I say, it is impossible. I would sooner accuse myself. Valentine, who is pure as a lily and her heart is of gold. No mercy. It is a flagrant crime. Mademoiselle de Villefort herself packed the medicines that were sent to Monsieur de Méran, and he is dead. She prepared the cooling draughts for Madame de Saint-Méran, and she is dead. Mademoiselle de Villefort took from Barrois, who was sent out, the decanter with the lemonade her grandfather generally drinks in the morning, and he escapes but by a miracle. Mademoiselle de Villefort is the guilty one. She is the poisoner, and I denounce her as such. Now, do your duty, Monsieur le Procureur du Roi." "Doctor, I can hold out no longer. I no longer defend myself, I believe you, but for pity's sake, spare my life, my honor." Monsieur de Villefort, there are times when I overstep the limits of foolish human circumspection, said the doctor with increasing vehemence. If your daughter had only committed one crime, and I saw her meditating a second one, I should say to you, warn her, punish her, send her to some convent to pass the rest of her days in weeping and praying. If she had committed two, I should say, Monsieur de Villefort, this is a poison for which there is no known antidote. Its action is as quick as thought, as rapid as lightning, and as deadly as a thunderbolt. Recommend her soul to God and give her this poison. Thus only will you save your honor and your life, for you are her target. I see her coming toward your pillow with her hypocritical smiles and her sweet exhortations. Woe to you if you do not strike first. This is what I should have said had she killed two persons. But she has witnessed 3 death agonies. She has watched 3 people die. She has knelt by 3 corpses. To the scaffold with the prisoner. To the scaffold. Villefort fell to his knees. Listen to me, he cried. Pity me. Help me. No, my daughter is not guilty. You may drag us before a tribunal, but I shall still say my daughter is not guilty. There is no crime in this house. Do you understand? I will have no crime in this house. For like death, crime comes not alone. What does it signify to you if I am murdered? Are you my friend? Are you a man? No, you are a physician. Well, then I say to you, I will not drag my daughter into the hands of the executioner. The very thought of it would drive me mad. I should tear my heart out with my fingernails. And if you were mistaken, doctor, if it were another than my daughter, if I came to you one day like a ghost and said to you, murderer, you have killed my daughter, if that were to happen, Monsieur de Avernet, Christian though I am, I should take my life. Very well, said the doctor after a moment of silence. I will wait. Villefort looked at him as though he still doubted his words. But remember this, continued Monsieur de Avernet solemnly and slowly. If someone falls ill in your house, if you yourself is stricken, do not send for me. I shall not come. I will share this terrible secret with you, but I will not let shame and remorse eat into my conscience like a worm, just as misfortune and crime will undermine the foundations of your house. Do you forsake me then, doctor? Yes, for I can follow you no further, and I will only stop at the foot of the scaffold. Another revelation will be made which will bring this terrible tragedy to a close. Goodbye. That evening, all Villefort's servants who had assembled in the kitchen to discuss the matter came in a body to see Monsieur de Villefort to give notice. No entreaties, no promises of higher wages could persuade them to stay. To everything they said, we wish to go, because death is in your house. And in spite of all persuasions, they left, expressing their regret at leaving such a good master and mistress, above all Mademoiselle Valentine, who was so good, so kind-hearted, so gentle. On hearing what the servant said, Villefort looked at Valentine. She was weeping, and the sight of her tears filled him with a deep emotion. He looked at Madame de Villefort too, and, strange to say, he seemed to see a fleeting but grim smile pass over her lips like a meteor passing ominously between 2 clouds in a stormy sky. What do you guys think? Is Valentine the poisoner? Or perhaps another in the house of Villefort? I'll see you guys next time.